sense of color revolution should be understood geopolitically, put in the geopolitical context, and this geopolitical context is completely clear. One civilization, Atlanticist civilization, tries to impose its influence, its domination all over the world, and that is the real reason of colored revolution. There is one force, one power behind all this revolution. It is centralized phenomenon that attack any conquering civilization, and behind these attack is one global power, American power, Atlanticist civilization. So it is the real key to understand color revolution. That is very important, that same forces who stand behind colored revolution and who act basing themselves exclusively on geopolitical vision of this situation, they try to hide this geopolitical agenda. They tried to discredit any kind of geopolitical thinking, and Soros, who is main sponsor of colored revolution, is the same man who makes great investigation in the propaganda against geopolitics, declaring geopolitics as false science, and so on and so on. So they are acting geopolitically, basing on the ideology, and they reject geopolitics as relevant scientific method of analysis, and reject any other ideology than liberalism. I would like to stress this point one more concerning the relevancy of geopolitics. It is not only one method of political analysis among others. It's the key and the only method of political analysis that corresponds to the truth. Because any other form of analysis, for example, dealing with religion or with ideology or with economy, all of them could be relevant partly, but they don't explain everything. The only one methodological approach explains absolutely correctly what is going on in the modern world. Because we have, for example, Shia Islam and Sunni Islam. They are both Islamic, but they are a clear contradiction between Iran and Saudi Arabia and so on. We have Christian world, but the most antagonist forces and powers in Christian world are American, Pole, and Russian Orthodox. Both countries are more or less Christian. So, religious analysis, economy, doesn't give account of every aspect of what is going on. There is no more socialist camp against capitalist camp. We have so-called socialist China economy, but China is not the pole of global confrontation. The confrontation between United States and China that exists in reality doesn't respond, doesn't explain any kind of geopolitical transformation in the world. So it's very important point. So the only concrete, only realistic vision of present situation, and thus correct explication of colored revolution, we should search in the field of the geopolitics and nowhere else. And that is important. The geopolitics who relativize, who pretend or deny geopolitics. or refuse geopolitics, or make it relatively analysis, relative analysis, not absolute analysis. Everyone work for our enemy, for main promoter of colored revolution, and cooperate with the global force and with global domination. It's тоже очень важно. I would like to stress the other point, that in the network processes, in the colored revolution processes, always there is forces who are in contradiction. And always there is a pole of this network warfare and the object, subject and object. The network warfare is between one pole is directed against the other. When we are speaking about network processes, colored revolution, somewhere we are use the terms that is not so evident who is against whom, or who is beneficiary force that take benefits of such or such turn of network strategy and so on. But we need to understand that there are camps in this network war, and they could not be defined without geopolitics, because the volatile field of network strategy suggests to students that it is something ambivalent, something fluid, something that could not be defined. So everybody is against everybody in these network processes, the roles are changing, and so on and so on. And that is so on the little scale. In the great scale, so that is absolutely clear who is against who. So, network warfare now, in the concrete present network warfare that uses colored revolution, we have the pole, the axis of this network warfare. These are United States of America and affiliated countries, NATO countries, and services, special services of different kind. There is no unique secret service that is behind all that. There are many, a kind of constellation of secret services behind this, with using many foundation and so on and so on. But it is the force. It is distributed power. It is not concentrated power. It is distributed power, but it is completely under control of one pole. So the interest of the West, of Atlantic community, that serves to promote liberal agenda everywhere in the world, and American domination on the strategical level, is in the center of all kinds of network process. So they have created network strategy for their use and against us. So entering in the network, we are entering battlefield where there is a war against us. So when we are coming to the front, so it is not miracle that they fire against us. We are more or less prepared for this. When we are entering in the virtual reality, we are under attack immediately. They fire informational images, ideas, concepts, figures, gestalt. All that is against us. We are involved immediately in the battlefield. In the battlefield with concrete enemy that is against us, against humanity, against any kind of sovereignty, against tradition, against man, against culture, and so on. So I have explained a little bit concerning Wikipedia page. So once some of us tries to improve, for example, my my page, eliminating some absolutely absurd accusation from there without any foundation, immediately all that returns by the means of this very attentive group of networker warriors, network warriors. And that was example in Brazil after me visiting some absolutely innocent conference concerning identity of the Indians of Amazonia. There was put on this page the idea that it was the neo-Nazi gathering, and one immediately one woman who is half black, half Indian, and he is daughter of great bossa nova singer Javan, who participated in this meeting, completely innocent in any sense. She tried to improve, being a little bit offended by this faults in Portugal language wiki page, but that was immediately returned to the first stage, and she was aggressed as and so on with any kind of blasphemy against her personally, well, because she tried to improve that. To say that in the conclusion, I would like to say that there are also imminent danger of colored revolution in Russia, because we have taken 1/3 and we are paying for all. We have taken Crimea and not Novorossiya, and we are now paying for as if we have taken all. So also the Putin's Caesarist politics is based on a junction of patriotism and liberalism, but they are contradictory standards. And now nationalist wing of Russian society is used by Atlantis in order to join their forces to liberal opposition, and that is scenario used in Serbia, used in Georgia, used in Ukraine. And American precedent case juridic tradition consists in the fact to repeat what works. If it works, it should be repeated. So this same scenario is now put in action here. So unification of liberals and ultra-nationalists. So any critic of Eurasianism in Russian patriotic camp is working against Russian interests. So every man who denies or reviews the key importance of geopolitics works for the enemy. And now we are approaching very different moment in our history, and so I suggest that every consistent Russian patriot starts immediately learn geopolitics, defend Eurasianism, or keep neutral attitude, at least neutral attitude towards Eurasianism. Stop immediately any kind of critics of Eurasianism, and try to understand what is network strategy declared in the publication and the works of Mr. Savin, of Valery Korovin, and the other authors who have dedicated their writings to this kind of researches. And now we have all. We have geopolitical map, we have Eurasia as the battlefield and the most important objects around which is this fight, and we have methodology expressed in the network warfare that we need to understand, we need to take an account, and construct a consistent, coherent counter-strategy, geopolitical, ideological, and also methodological on the basis of the network warfare. Thank you. Благодарю вас.